Alright, I'm back. So let's take a look at Apple. Uh, Again, we talked about it last week, breaking above this downtrend, which it did. It was a mess. It did actually, get up to that 550 resistance, but it kind of was traded sloppy, which makes sense because the market kind of sucked. Uh, and now it pulled all the way back into this, and so what I'm looking for here is support at this downtrend, which a nice thing about it is it didn't close below it on Thursday, it didn't close below it on Friday. Even though it kind of intraday got below it, it didn't close, so that tells me that this thing, what I'm looking for now, going to the week, is this thing to catch some support here and then bounce off it, and then get back to challenge these 550 level, get above 550, then the next resistance will be 560. That's the plan. What I definitely don't want to see happen is it breaking below these moving averages and breaking below this uptrend. If that happens, all bets are off. I don't like it. But more than likely, if that happens, then the market's in trouble, and that tells me the S&P broke that upper level support, and we may have a couple week run of weakness. But again, we'll see what happens. That that the market will tell us, and we will act accordingly. Let's take a look at Facebook, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, or I told you, hey, when this thing breaks below here, I definitely saw a relative weakness developing, even though it has been a big, uh, you know, strong for quite some time. We saw a relative weakness come right in here when it broke this trend line. I said, hey, now look out, this thing may be, next level it was going to challenge was the mid 60s, which it sure did. Bounced on this day here around 66 and change. uh, you know, Again, look like we looked at the Nasdaq with the inverted head and shoulders. I'm sorry, not inverted head and shoulders, but an actually head and shoulders play. Here's the left shoulder, here's the head, here's the right shoulder, and it broke below. And you can anticipate the move from the neckline to the high, which I actually probably overdid. I think if you look at it, just eyeing it, $60 should have been the support, or the target, and I think I mentioned 60, and that's where I think you bought the puts, which I think should be a good play. Again, I'd like to see the Nasdaq bounce here. Like I said, I'm on the tactical side. I think we're a little oversold. The McClellan oscillator tells me that, but until we see that bounce, you know, and again, 60 should be a good level of support for Facebook. It definitely overshot it on Thursday. I think that was a bit of a capitulation down day in high beta land, and Facebook's definitely high beta land, and so that was probably a good day. I think some real smart money probably got involved on Thursday, bought some of these high beta stocks, and maybe the trend changes in the new quarter. Uh, Friday, it's an inside day, a little bit of weakness, but what I like to see now is, the short-term resistance here is roughly $62, right? So if we can catch some support here at 60, and then $62 is that short-term resistance, it gets above 62, then we're back, and the next level of resistance will be 63 and change around here, and then this moving average, which is the 50-day. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll see. I think this should be some sort of good support, even if it ends up going lower. I anticipate this thing at least trading in here for some time, even before it tries to make another move lower. And again, if it does make another move lower, that tells me the market is starting to really roll over. I don't really anticipate that at this point in time. We'll see how this week develops. Let's take a look at Twitter. Again, I told you to avoid this thing like the plague. Once we had some tough times in this mid $50 range, right? It was good to own it against these 50s on earnings. It kind of bounced in here, but then it just stalled at this mid to upper 50s. I remember selling it in around 55-ish, whatever I bought on this day here. And then it just meandered. I stayed away from it, luckily, and then especially when it broke this, these levels, it was like the low 50s. I was like, all right, it's going to 50. And sure enough, you know, not only did it go to 50, it kind of bounced here a little bit, and then $50 support gave way, and once that gave way, look out, it went right. I said the IPO price at 45, and it overshot it by a little bit, but it did catch some nice support at that level. I think he sold puts, so that was a good deal to do that. Uh, I was looking at these IPO levels, and definitely should have anticipating that $45 support. Whether that holds or not, we'll see. Just like in Facebook, the market will tell. And at some point here, we need to break these downtrends to get some interest back involved and back into this name. Let's take a look at some high beta stocks like Google. As you can tell, I'm just going to go through them real quick. I don't know why this fucking looks so shitty like this. Here we go. I mean, you can just see stock that's been a champ for such a long time. I mean, this looks like the Facebook chart, right? There's a gap in here and a nice uptrend, and then it finally rolled over. So this could mean something more significant is going to happen here, but maybe it's just that washout to get people out that were buying it in here. Everyone got ultra bullish in it. Now they need to wash all these people out. Smart money maybe gets back in, and then it can make another run higher, right? And that would maybe be the call for the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Pricelines, the Netflix, all these stocks that were the superstars last year, and now they just have been absolute shit. But we'll see it. Like I said, Apple right now looks the best out of all of them. We'll see how that develops. What else do I got here? I don't have too much more. Like I said, I'm going to watch utilities to make new highs this upcoming week. We'll see if money comes back into play in the high beta going forward. Apple, we'll see if that bounces off that trend line, that downtrend line, and goes higher. Would be interesting to see. Another stock that you have, I think I got you in way back when, but on a tactical level is this 30Mar. You were telling me you have a bid in at 16. I would avoid that, to be honest, because if it's going to trade back to the $16 level, more than likely it's going to break, and the next support's 14. So probably the same day you buy it at 16, it'll probably trade to 14, and you're going to curse me, because I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you to take that bid away. What I want to see to buy this back, I want to see this thing hold above 16. I want to see it trade here, maybe sideways, maybe develop, show me where the resistance is. Maybe it's 18, and then, if it trades above 18, that's when I want to buy it. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to catch a falling knife. That's just a bad practice. Don't buy it at 16. Wait for it to, the support to hold, and then gets a nice little resistance level. That when it breaks above, that's where you want to buy it on 30Mar. I don't know what else to go over. Like I said, the Triple D I'll watch as well this upcoming week. That $61 level, maybe buy some above 61. Here's another one, Lorillard, actually, another boring stock that you probably, but this is an interesting pattern. I talked about it a couple weeks ago back in here. Don't trade intraday. I tried that once. It just isn't a good intraday trading stock. But right here, I'd like to try to buy above Friday's high, which is 53.5, and then basically leaning on 53, right? So I'll self stop below 53, but take a half a point of risk. And what I'm looking for is just to get above 53.5, get above 54, and then maybe make a run somewhere in here. Maybe some takeover rumors get back involved and play here. I mean, what I see here is some relative strength, so maybe that potentially is happening. In Lorillard, another boring stock, but you know what? If it can make you money, I'll take it. So that's just what I'm looking at this week. I really don't have much else. I'll end it there, and if you have any questions, email me. I can go over anything that you want. All right, take care.